Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for today's at-home Pilates session. Today is a total body focused workout. We are going to be working our abs, our arms, our glutes, and our thighs using a set of 5-pound weights. You can lift heavier, you can lift lighter. It's totally up to you depending on your level of strength. We are going to be working through a series of compound moves that are going to target multiple muscle groups. So you're really going to feel it. You're going to build strength, endurance, and we're going to focus on form and getting really nice and toned. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to place my weights down on the mat below my shoulders. Knees come below the hips. We have a nice neutral spine here. The belly is plugged in. We're just going to work through a couple of different shoulder positions to just warm up the shoulder blades and mobilize the back a little bit. So I'm going to sink between my shoulder blades, knitting the shoulder blades together, and then I'm going to push up through the heels of my hands, up through my weights to broaden across those shoulders, protracting the shoulder blades. So we're going to retract the shoulder blades, knitting them together, and then we're going to protract the shoulder blades, scooping the belly in, broadening across those shoulders. Retract, keeping the arms fairly straight, just a gentle bend, and then push the mat away, separating those shoulder blades. Good. Lower and lift. Inhale and exhale. Keep your gaze down on the mat so that your neck is in line with your spine. Keep your navel plugged in. Low back in neutral. We've got 3. Really push the mat away from you for 2. And last 1. Bringing those shoulders into a neutral position. From here, we're nice and balanced across the shoulders. We're going to extend the left leg out long behind, pointing and lengthening through the toe. Now from here, I'm going to pull my weight up on my right side, contracting those upper back muscles, lower to the mat and lift the legs, squeezing the bum, lengthening through the toe. Lower and lift. Lower and lift legs. So pull up, hold at the top of that movement for a split second before lowering the weight. So really contracting the upper back muscles, using those muscles to pull the weight up, to pull the elbow up toward the ceiling. Good. Alternating sides. Making sure you're square, your hips are square with the mat, and your shoulders are nice and balanced and level. Good. If you're feeling nice and stable here, we're going to combine the movement. So we're going to pull the arm up and the leg up, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the upper back muscles lower with control. Good. Really plug your belly in for this so you're nice and stable through your trunk. You've got this. Focusing on balance, stability, and building strength. Breathe out to pull up. Squeeze the glutes and squeeze the upper back muscle. If you're losing stability here, you can go back to alternating your arm and your leg, lifting one after the other. It's better that you move with stability and control than trying to push it if you're not quite at the level of bringing your arm and leg up in unison. Good. We've got 4, 3, squeeze the glutes, 2, and 1. Bring your arm down. Make sure you're nice and broad across those shoulders. If it's too much to be up on the weights, you can always lower your hands down to the mat if it's hurting your hands. We're going to lift that leg that we were just lifting, so the left leg is lengthened, and we're going to pulse. Little controlled pulses here. So we're just focusing on the glutes and the hamstrings. We're going to really pulse it out, squeezing the left bum cheek. Breathing deeply. Keep your spine in neutral, not jerking, lifting movements, just little controlled pulses, focusing on those glutes, on those hamstrings. Keep lengthening through the toe. Keep those hips square with the mat. You've got it. Belly plugged in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Lift an inch higher, squeeze, 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 and relax it down. Nice work. Bring your knee under your hip here so that both knees are under your hips. And now we're gonna focus on that, just that right arm. We're going to lift and extend so that the weight is up toward the ceiling, and we're gonna pulse. Little controlled pulses here, trying to keep your shoulders square with the mat, focusing on those triceps. Good, lift, lift, lift. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold, lift an inch higher, and bend the elbow, relax it down. You can move those weights out in front of you for a moment, take the knees nice and wide, and just stretch back for a moment in child's pose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Stretching and lengthening through that spine. Inhale and exhale. Amazing work. I'm gonna turn to this side. You can stay facing in one direction if you would like to, but I'm gonna move here so you have a bit of a clearer view. So from this position, our weights come under our shoulders, gentle bend in the elbows. This time we're extending the right leg out long, and we're moving between the left arm and the right leg lifting. So lift up, pull that elbow up and back, lower, and then lift the right leg. Lower the leg, lift through the elbow, good, and alternating arm and leg. Really focus here on stabilizing through the trunk and squeezing those glutes and squeezing your upper back muscle to get that lift. Trying not to lean or twist to one side. Building that stability, building that core strength, those deep stabilizing muscles. Nice work. Last one. And then we're going to try to combine the movement. So we're lifting and lowering. Lifting and lowering. Keeping that gaze down on the floor. Nice long neck. Shoulders are right away from the ears. Good. Lift your navel up toward the ceiling. Squeeze those upper back muscles. Hold at the top of that lift for a nice little squeeze before lowering and relaxing down with control. Nice. Good. Keep lengthening through the toe of the extended leg. We've got 5, 4, 3, you can do it, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Now we're going to extend that left leg, lift it here. You can stay up on your weights or come down on your palms as we begin pulsing. Your torso is nice and long, your spine is in neutral. Push up through the heels of the hands so you're nice and broad across those shoulders, and focus on the contraction of the glutes on that right side. Little controlled pulses. Point hard through the toe. Keep pulsing up, pulsing that heel toward the ceiling. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Lift the leg an inch higher. Squeeze the bum. Hold, hold, hold. And release it down, bringing the knee below the hip. Amazing. Now we're going to lift the left elbow up, extend the left elbow, the left arm long, and pulse, pulse, pulse. Focusing on the back of the arm here. Try to keep those shoulders square. Whew, this is tough. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Lift an inch higher, lengthen, and bend, release. Amazing. Now I'm going to come back up onto my weights. You can have your palms flat on the floor if that's more comfortable for you. I'm going to inch my knees back a little bit so that they're just behind the hips. Now we're going to, making sure the elbows are in close to the body, work into some push-ups. So I'm going to lower the chest, keeping the elbows in tight toward the side of the body, and push up. Good. Abs are in. Lower and lift. So you're hovering your chest just above the mat, and then you're pushing up through the heels of the hands. Amazing work. Notice how I'm pausing just for a second at the bottom and then pushing up with a lot of power. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Keep those elbows in close to you so that you're working the backs of the arms. We've got 4, 3, abs in, 2, nearly there. Last one, and lift. Take your hands in front of you. Sink back onto your heels and just stretch it out. Breathing in through the nose, relax those shoulders, and out through the mouth. Inhale and exhale. Sink your armpits down toward the floor for 3 and 1. Amazing. Now we're going to focus on our glutes and our thighs and a little bit on our arms for this next series of exercises. So we're going to bring the weights with us. Separate the feet so they're hip distance apart, feet are parallel, and we're going to slowly roll down to the mat, 1 vertebra at a time. Step your heels in a little closer to your body so that the heels are below the knees. We're going to come up into a bridge position. So we're going to, spine is in neutral. We're going to tilt the pelvis back, peeling the spine up off the mat 1 vertebra at a time. Never overextending here. We want to be creating a nice flat line and gently tucking the tailbone in so that the low back is protected. Now we're going to place the weights on the hips. We're going to lower a couple of inches and then pulse, pulse, hold. And when you hold, you're going to squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the bum cheeks together. Then lower, pulse, pulse, hold. Good. Squeeze the bum cheeks. Pulse, pulse, hold. Good. Pulse, pulse, hold. Lower, pulse, pulse, hold. Good. Pulse, pulse, hold. Make any adjustments that you need to. Remember, you're not overarching in the spine here. You are keeping your tailbone tucked in, and you are squeezing those bum cheeks together with all you've got at the top of the lift. Good. Legs stay parallel. Pulse, pulse, hold. Good. So really make this count. Transfer weight into your heels as you press up, really targeting those glutes and hamstrings. Nice work. Belly is plugged in. Lower, lower, lift. Ooh, I missed my pulse there. Keep it up. 2 more sets. Squeeze the bum, lift those hips, good. And last one, and hold. Amazing work. Relax down for a moment. Now this time I'm going to bring my weights on either side of the chest. So they're about at the rib cage here. You can come up either onto flat feet, or if you want to extend your level of challenge, you're going to lift up onto the balls of your feet. So feet are flat, heels under knees, or balls of feet are under the knees. Whatever works for you. We're going to widen the knees and bring the weight up. Lower, bring the weight to parallel, bring the weight to the chest and the knees to parallel. Lift the weights, widen the knees, bring the weight down, knees back to parallel. Good. Lift and lower the weight. Lift and lower the weight. Keep the hips suspended in the air. Good. If you need to make any adjustments, do so. Make sure your tailbone is tucked, your abs are engaged. You're working into the chest here as you push the weights up and together, and you're working into the gluteus medius muscles as you abduct those knees. Good. If you're up on your toes and it's getting too much, flatten your feet down onto the mat and keep going. Good. Ooh, my legs are starting to shake. We've got 5, 4, 3, keep those hips elevated. 2, you can do it. And 1, nice work. We're gonna keep the weights held over the shoulders, and now we're going to pulse the knees out. Little controlled pulses. Keeping the arms strong over the shoulders. Little pulses out with those knees. Keep those hips elevated. You've got this. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Gently lower the spine down 1 vertebra at a time and drop the weights off by your side. Take a moment here. Stretch out nice and long. Reach the arms overhead. Lengthen through the toes, and let's just take a couple of deep breaths in this elongated position. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Relaxing the body. Stretch and breathe out. Relaxing the body. Stretch on your inhale and exhale, relax. Amazing breathing. Now we're going to get into some of our abdominal work. We're going to take the weights by the side of the body. Elbows are in close toward the side of the body. We are going to work through some alternating arm and leg lifts, and we're gonna add a crunch. So it looks like this. So as my left arm comes up, my right leg bends and I crunch up toward the ceiling, alternating sides. Right arm, left leg, bring it up and lower with control. So tuck your chin gently as you lift up. Focus on contracting that low back down to the mat as you reach up for that crunch. Pushing the weight up as though you were trying to punch a hole in the ceiling with that weight. Good. Make it a really powerful lift. Good. Hinging from the hip to lift the leg. Good work. Challenge yourself by lifting up a little bit higher every time you crunch up. Really focusing on contracting your abdominal wall down toward the floor every time you lift. Good. We've got 6. Lift a bit higher. And 5. Power up through the arms. 4. Last 3, abs are in. For 2. And final 1. Amazing work. Now, we are going to keep one foot flat on the floor and we're going to extend the other leg out long. I'm going to lift both arms up toward the ceiling. Now I'm just going to show you the arm movement first of all. So the upper arm is going to stay totally stationary here. We're going to bend from the elbow and then push up, straightening the arm. So we're working the triceps here, bending from the elbow and come up. So practice a few of those on their own. Just on this right side. Good. And then the same arm that's working, we're going to add a leg lift. So we're going to bend, and as we lift, we're lifting the leg up. Bend, just hover the leg, point through the toe, and lift up. Lower, and lift. Belly to spine to lift. Lower, and lift. Now, if you want to step up the level of challenge here, I want you to elevate the opposite leg up off the floor into tabletop. If you're losing control or you're not able to contract your belly to your spine with that leg elevated, plant the foot back down onto the floor. Good work. Keep it up. Nice and controlled, precise movements. Inhale and exhale. Keeping that upper arm really stationary. You're just hinging from the elbow and you're hinging from the hip to get the lift. Inhale, exhale. We've got 3. These are tough. 2, I can feel it in my abs. I can feel it in my upper arm. And 1, amazing work. Let's relax everything down for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now I'm going to extend the left leg, bring the weights over the shoulders, stabilizing through the upper arm. We're just going to start off with the left arm bending and extending, getting used to the movement, developing that control before we add the leg. Good. Once you've got it, add that leg in. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Try to stay really stable with that upper arm. Don't let it move. Just hinge from the elbow as you bend and extend. Focus on the back of the arm working here. Other arm is static, holding up the weight. So it's working too. Amazing. And if you're feeling strong here, you're elevating opposite leg into tabletop for a little bit more of a challenge on those abs. Good. Lower and lift. We've got 4, 3, abs in, 2, push up through the heel of the hand, and 1, relax it down. I'm just going to release my weights for a moment. Just wiggle out the fingers. Been really squeezing, holding onto those weights. We have a couple more exercises to do holding the weights. I'm just going to free my fingers a little bit first of all. Do the same if that feels comfortable for you. Now we're going to stretch our bodies out nice and long. Legs are hip distance apart. Thighs are engaged. Glutes are slightly tweezed. We're going to bring the weights so that the ends are together just slightly over the head, and we're going to roll up. Weight comes over the head. We drop the weight to shoulder height, and we roll it down 1 vertebra at a time. Good. Breathe out to lift. Drop the weight to shoulder height. Plug belly in and lower down. Good. Lift up using your upper abs. Roll down using your lower abs. Legs are squeezing for extra added stability. Nice work. I love this exercise. It works the abs and it also really helps me to articulate my spine. Feels good. Good work. Move slow, move controlled, moving with control. Nice work. My arms are really switched on here too. Good. Last 2. Come up and lift. Lower with control. Come up and lift. Lower. We're going to fold over the lower body. Place the weight on either side of your legs and bend and fold into a back body stretch. Holding onto your calves, your ankles, or the bottom of your feet. Stretch out the back body. We're going to breathe out and in for 3 and 2 and 1. Nice work. Now for a finisher. We're going to bring the weights with us and lower down, and we are going to fatigue and work our upper abs for 20 little pulses up. So we're going to bring the weights above the shoulders. Knees and legs are here, bent. So you'll be moving like this with your crunch pulses, or if you can, straighten those legs, plug your navel in, lift head, neck, and shoulders. 10, 9, 8, lift. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, abs in, 2, and 1. Keep pulsing for 10, 9, 8, 7, lift a bit higher. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold, lift, 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 hold, abs in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax the legs down. Place your weights off to the side of your mat. Roll over onto your stomach. Take your legs about shoulder distance apart and peel up either onto your forearms or onto your palms. Breathing deeply here for 3 and 2 and 1. Come onto your knees, step your right foot between your palms, elevate up, interlacing your fingers on your right thigh, gently pushing that left hip forward for a nice deep hip flexor stretch. Spine is nice and long, chin is parallel with the floor. Breathing out for 3. Keep gently pressing that left hip forward for 2. Last breath for 1. Amazing. Plant your hands down on the mat. Bring your left foot between your hands. Hands come interlaced onto left thigh. Gently pushing that right hip forward. Elongating through the spine. Shoulders are down. For 3. And 2. Sink a bit more deeply into the stretch. And 1. Nice work. Come into a kneeling position so you're even across your hips. Lift your shoulders up by your ears. Inhale and exhale, roll them back. For 2, melting away any tension. And last 1. Wow, that was challenging, but I feel like it was a really great workout. I looked forward to moving with you, and I look forward to exercising again with you next time. See you soon.